Hey guys, this is Luke MC Candles here for my deck tech before our first of hopefully many versus videos for the website. Today I'm going to be playing Jund Monsters updated for M15 standard. The deck list is very much almost exactly the same as it used to be. We're playing the usual amount of 8 mana dorks that accelerate us from turns 1 to 4 into the namesake monsters of the deck, being Polukranos and Stormbreath Dragon. We're playing 7 Planeswalkers in 4 Dominaria Raids and 3 Xenagos. I've seen a lot of lists lately that have only been playing 2 Xenagos, but the card presents way too much pressure against too much of the format to want to shave down any numbers. He can easily take over the game if you play him on turn 3, and anyone that doesn't have like mass removal often just loses to the stream of 2/2s. We're only playing 3 Corsair Crucifix. The games where you draw multiples of it, it's not very good. It is a good card advantage engine, especially with the Domri online, but I never really want to see 2 of them, so having 3 is fine. Scavenging Ooze I've cut back down to 2. I haven't been hugely impressed with it lately. The card is still very, very powerful, but there's a lot of matchups where it just sort of durdles around as a 2/2. One interesting card that I'm playing in the main deck is the 2 Rakdos Returns. I think the card is incredibly relevant in most of the Tier 1 matchups of the format. The only real Tier 1 deck that it's not great against is Mono Blue, but there are applications for it in the Mirror, the Mono Black matchup, the Blue White based matchups, and the more recent addition to the format being the Naya Walkers list. Being able to kill a Planeswalker and drop your entire opponent's hand is really huge and game ending. So I've been a massive proponent to playing that card lately, and I haven't seen a reason to stop. We're still playing the usual removal spells in 2 Dreadboars, 2 Mizzium Mortars, and 3 Gore Clan Rampages as pseudo removal / just getting damage in. Other than that, the main deck hasn't really changed. The only card from M15 that's made the cut is 4 copies of Llanowar Wastes. We cut 4 Overgrown Tombs for them, and I couldn't be happier with it. From testing so far, I've noticed that I lose a lot less life in the early game because I'm not constantly shocking myself. A lot of games you'll lead off with a Temple of Abandon or a Stomping Ground tapped and follow up with a Llanowar Wastes that you don't have to pay life for to cast a Sylvan Caryatid, which is huge. But it's still an untapped green source on turn 1, which is also really important for Elvish Mystic draws, but it only costs you half the life. Moving over to the sideboard, we've got a collection of a couple of the newer cards that I want to try out in specifically this matchup and just in general. So we'll start with them. We've got 1 copy of Soul of Innistrad and 1 copy of Garruk Apex Predator. Soul of Innistrad is a really interesting card for the control matchups that are just relying on Supreme Verdict knocking you out of the game. A lot of the time you'll be able to untap with a fair bit of mana, and if you play a Soul of Innistrad, even if they kill it, you can use 5 mana to buy back a bunch of threats like Stormbreaths and that have been caught up in the Supreme Verdicts. That, to me, just sounds fantastic. Like, it's everything I want to be doing against them. Jamming threats to force them to blow the Verdict early, and then just buying them all back with the Soul of Innistrad. Garruk is, I don't know, he's probably a little bit too expensive to go in the sideboard of this deck. He has replaced what used to be a Vraska, but he's really interesting. He has an ability to put a 3/3 beast into play, which is similar to what Garruk Primal Hunter used to do in this style of deck, and that used to be backbreaking for control. His ability to just Dreadbore an Elspeth uncounterably is huge, and I mean, they have to answer him just as quickly as they have to answer a Domri, because if he's allowed to tick up a couple of times, he's just going to kill them with an emblem. Then we're still playing Chandra. Chandra is still really, really good in a lot of matchups, and I can't see me cutting her in the near future. We have a selection of removal spells in Abrupt Decay, Putrefy, Golgari Charm, and Cetacean Tactics. The tactics are specifically for the Mirror and other green-based strategies, where a lot of the time you'll be in an awkward board stall where you both have the same, if not very similar creatures in play. Tactics gives you a way to make all your guys bigger than your opponent's copy of the same guy, kill them all, and be the only person with a board state. We're still playing Mistcutter Hydras because Mono Blue is a huge issue for the deck, and I've succumbed to needing to play Nihilea's Disciple on the board for burn. Maybe I'm a little bit hurt because there's so much more burn online than in paper, and I've had to play the Disciples in the sideboard to guarantee being able to beat burn post-board. But the card's not that bad. It's only a 3/3, but against decks like Burn, just gaining 4 to 5 life is huge, and it gives you that time to play into bigger threats that end the game. Anyway, I'll see you shortly for game 1 against Julian.